How do we make it possible for canola to survive a herbicide? The canola plant, like all living things, is made up of cells. The nucleus of each cell contains DNA. DNA is like a recipe book. Each page of the book features a recipe that determines the traits of canola, such as the color of its flowers or the amount of oil in its seeds. To allow canola to survive a herbicide, its DNA must be modified. In other words, change one or even several recipes in its book. To accomplish this, scientists have used two methods: genetic engineering and mutagenesis. Genetic engineering involves inserting a piece of DNA or a new recipe into the DNA of an organism. To allow canola to survive a herbicide, scientists must first find a recipe for herbicide tolerance in another organism. They discovered it in a soil bacterium. Scientists copied the recipe, or piece of DNA, from the bacterium and inserted it into the canola recipe book, or DNA. And voila! Thanks to this new recipe, canola can now survive a herbicide. Because it contains a piece of DNA from another organism, it is a transgenic plant. The second method is called mutagenesis. It involves causing genetic mutations in an organism. Instead of adding a new recipe to canola's book, scientists change some of the ingredients in the book. To change the ingredients, scientists must first expose the canola cells to a chemical substance, a mutagen, to damage the canola's recipe book, or DNA. When the damaged DNA repairs itself, small changes occur. The ingredients for certain recipes change. To discover whether or not an ingredient would allow the canola to survive a herbicide, scientists expose the mutated cells to a small quantity of the herbicide. The cells that survive this exposure are grown, then exposed to a larger quantity of herbicide. And voila! The new ingredients in the recipe book for this plant allow it to survive a herbicide. Because this canola does not contain a recipe or DNA borrowed from another organism, it is not a transgenic plant. Whether these changes in DNA come through genetic engineering or mutagenesis, they have allowed scientists to develop new herbicide-tolerant varieties of canola.